This is Prime Crime Network. Welcome to the Filthy Badge series.
Police officers take an oath to protect and serve,
where we go precinct to precinct finding the dirtiest cops.
Delhi joined the force in 2015, but tonight he's in jail charged with rape.
Some officers across the country are misusing that authority.
And now, the accused.
Viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
He was just hired with the department in December of last year, so he's only been with them for about 5 months or so. But he has since been relieved of his police duties pending the outcome of this investigation. Let's go ahead and show you what he looks like. You're looking at the mugshot of 26-year-old Joshua Bhagwandas. He is the Miramar police officer who was arrested yesterday and now facing felony charges stemming from a domestic incident with his girlfriend of 2 years. In the arrest warrant we obtained, it states Joshua and his girlfriend got into an argument after she said she noticed a text message from his ex-girlfriend. The victim told police after the two picked up their children from her mother's home following a night out with friends that included drinking and smoking marijuana. They went back to their Miramar home. When she refused to speak with him about the text messages, Joshua allegedly straddled her, pinned her to the bed, and then began to choke her. She said she was able to get free, but she was chased down and then pulled back into their home. She called 911 and Joshua was arrested by Miramar police later that day. The Miramar police chief reacting to the arrest with this statement they read in part, "The arrest illustrates the department's commitment to enforcing the law without favor. We encourage all victims of domestic violence to come forward without fear, knowing that we take these matters seriously. An administrative investigation is also underway." Now, in that arrest affidavit, it also states that the victim did suffer some injuries to her face that included lacerations and scratches. She also had bruises to her arm. As for Joshua, he is expected to face a judge at some point today. We'll be sure to let you know what happens.
Prime Crime Network.
It was exclusive.
I know that Hafferman wasn't the only problem in the department. I absolutely know that Hafferman was not the only problem in the department.
He was one of at least 11 people falsely arrested by a Fort Collins cop for DUI, and now he's behind one of 5 lawsuits.
Well, the first time it happened to me, it was shocking. And I thought there's no way this can happen in a community like Fort Collins.
Harris Elias was the first person the problem solvers learned had been falsely arrested and charged for DUI.
I can smell a faint odor of alcohol coming from your breath or your person.
Blood tests would later reveal alcohol and drugs were not detected in his system. An internal affairs investigation started April 13th, 2022, just 5 days after the problem solvers made its first records request for the Elias body cam.
It's easier for them to pretend there's not a problem and to sweep it under the rug.
I mean, I was screaming my innocence from day one when I told him 6 times, I'm not under the influence, officer.
Derek Groves appears to pass the field sobriety test on the body cam footage, but like Harris Elias and so many others, it would eventually take blood results to prove their innocence.
I said, I promise you I'm not under the influence. I am getting a lawyer and there will be repercussions. And here we are to this day.
This day arrives with 5 lawsuits filed by attorney Sarah Shelke, but she says there's way more than 5 victims.
What we uncovered was astonishing. Nobody was reviewing what this officer was doing.
Shelke says Fort Collins police knew or should have known Hafferman had already falsely arrested 8 people in 2021, but the police chief didn't mention that when we interviewed him in May of 2022.
If we send out blood work and it comes back that there wasn't any in there, we look back at it. We say, let's reconstruct this. What happened?
At that time, Chief Jeff Swoboda told us anytime DUI results come back negative or not detected, the department reviews the case.
Supervisors are able to go back and look at a body camera.
Nobody at Fort Collins was supervising this officer, and that's why it didn't stop.
Shelke says an audit trail she obtained of body cam footage shows supervisors were not reviewing Hafferman cases despite numerous negative test results that should have raised red flags.
We went and got the audit trails. Nobody was reviewing it. The first time these people were looking at Hafferman's wrongful DUI arrests is once KDVR started running stories on Hafferman.
She doesn't just blame Hafferman, she blames his supervisors, whose names she says were suspiciously redacted from the Hafferman Internal Affairs Report.
That was comically absurd to me.
The Internal Affairs Report obtained by the problem solvers shows another red flag. In multiple cases reviewed, Officer Hafferman mutes his body-worn camera.
This guy is not only lying in the reports, but then when things aren't looking too good in terms of the best evidence, he's muting it or losing it or saying it's just, not functioning.
Shelke says she discovered at least 5 cases where body cam doesn't exist because she says Hafferman claimed his camera was malfunctioning or the video somehow got lost. Another 10 cases where portions of the body cam are muted.
It should be a crime for an officer to mute his body camera ever.
Body cam was muted in the Harris Elias case, right as he was supposed to take a breath test that might have proved his innocence. Instead, he was forced to undergo a blood draw.
Fort Collins Police may say, listen, we did an internal affairs investigation. He resigned in lieu of termination. We held ourselves accountable. Would you agree? The police always say that. We've investigated ourselves, and this is what we've determined. Well, you know what? We're going to investigate you in the federal courts, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Prime Crime Network.
It was exclusive.
And take a look at these badges. They may look real, but no, they're fake. And the man accused of using them to impersonate law enforcement now faces some real charges. Aside from those badges, he had an emergency light bar, a body camera, a dash cam, and a gun inside his car. Is there any indication this guy tried to pull anybody over in that car?
Prime Crime Network.
It was exclusive.
And here, we catch a captain drunk driving. Check it out.
March 12th at 1:40 a.m., an Oklahoma City police officer pulling over Captain Matt French. The 32-year veteran on the force allegedly swerving and speeding along South May in his city-issued vehicle used to investigate homicides. After what he says was a few beers and a poker game 4 blocks away, the homicide investigation captain's eyes were watery and he was slurring his speech.
You been drinking?
Captain French making sure the officer knows who he is.
I'm a captain on the police department.
What police department?
Oklahoma City.
How much we had to drink tonight, sir?
Please. Sir, turn that off. I'm asking you. I'm a captain on the police department.
The officer doesn't waver.
I don't care if you're a gangbanger or the president of the United States. If I was to treat you differently than I was to treat like some Southside loco or some pedo, how's that look on me?
Okay, I'm not asking for that.
After being denied, French agrees to a field sobriety test.
3, 4. Sir, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He doesn't pass.
Are you going to arrest me, sir?
Yes, I am.
Chief Wade Gorley says the arresting officer did everything by the book.
The officer did exactly as he should have and handled it, very professionally in my opinion.
The chief says now the department has 2 investigations, the criminal side and the administrative side.
There's oftentimes a lot of things that you can't answer just from viewing a video.
Thank you for watching Prime Crime Network, your source for urban and suburban and around the world news. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell. And check us out on primecrimenetwork.com.